Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a story. Now, to get context, this was happening when I was researching about the next season of Fortnite for my video. And as I was uploading about Chapter 5's great events, I realized which chapter is actually the best. So, welcome to So I Figured Out the Best Fortnite Chapter. But first, we have to understand what makes a good chapter. Number one, it has to be just a great map in general. Next is great weapons. And we cannot forget about the Battle Pass, and collab skins and Mythic. And no, I am not counting the fact that Chapter 1 and 2 are nostalgic. Hello, I made a mistake. This is Editing Joe here, realizing that Chapter 5 is not going to be in, because, well, we are only 3 seasons in. But before we dive into going deep in depth with every season and every chapter, let's look at how many players were playing at the time. Now, towards the beginning, it actually was not getting as much, but it still got a lot of players. As it was going into COVID-19, it definitely got a lot better. But is that just because of the virus? I'm going to assume yes. So I'm going to leave player status at the time out of this. We're going to talk about basically just what's in that chapter, not about player base, just what's in the chapter and the content itself. We're going to start things off by looking at which map was the best. Let's start off by taking a look at Chapter 1 versus Chapter 4. Which one do you think is the best? Chapter 4, right? Because it has a lot of different biomes and it looks like there's just a lot to explore. Chapter 1, it looks like there's just a bunch of grass. There are some things to explore, but it's just plain grass. So on this point, I'm going to go with Chapter 4 is the best. But there's still 2 other chapters. Do I really have to give any explanation about this? Chapter 3. Yes, it was good, but the problem is that so many chapters were just mid. Chapter 2 had the biggest storyline and the biggest seasons ever. So many good events. So I think that Chapter 2 is better than Chapter 3. So, welcome. After every chapter, I'm going to decide one chapter to never be featured again until we eventually get to what the best chapter is. Unfortunately, I have to go with OG Season Chapter 1 because just the amount of POIs that are actually interesting, that are not just grass with a bunch of barrels on it, is just not compared to what we have today. So how are we gonna rank guns? Well, I'm gonna take the 2 best guns of each season and rank them. We're gonna see which gun has the best fire rate, accuracy, and overall easy to pick up, rarity, and stuff like that. Starting off with Chapter 2, I am not going to be counting any mythics like the Midas gun, drum gun. So that is why it's not on the list. That would be number 1 if it was. But the tactical shotgun and the assault rifle, classic. They are generally just a good team, and they are superior. Okay, so basically, Chapter 3 now. MK is a lot better than the normal assault rifle that I used for the best weapons in Chapter 2. But I don't think I can say that much about the DMR. It's the best DMR, but it's a DMR. Still, DMRs, I think, in my opinion, are not the best. But if you know how to use them, these weapons can be perfect. You can wipe out enemies in a literal second, just like any other weapon on this list. Okay, so I'm not gonna bore you with Chapter 4. These weapons are both very easy and hit for a lot. SMG is so good, all SMGs except for, well, a couple. Chapter 3. But anyway, and then the DMR is just a lot of people hate DMRs, but if you're good at using them, it's not it does damage. It does damage and it's good. So if you are really good at hitting your shots, then these weapons are perfect to use. Sadly, here we are again. There's good news and bad news. Good news is we are getting closer to finding the best chapter in Fortnite to play. Sadly, Chapter 3 has to go. Overall, I just do not remember this chapter. was so memorable, though, in the sense that the seasons were good. It was also when the creator left. It was just a good season. I mean, a good chapter, but just there's so many better options. So it's now a 1v1. Chapter 2 versus Chapter 4. Who will win? We'll find out by seeing which one has the better battle pass. Let's start off by looking at Chapter 4. Now, the collab skin was Halo. Great game, but the skins. I don't think the skins were this good. They were still good. They were battle pass skins. What do you expect? Person has no background unless it's like a storyline character. The skins were good but and decent, but I remember not really caring about the battle pass and caring about Halo more. Versus, what do I say about this season? In this chapter alone, this was the best battle pass. It had Midas, who basically changed the storyline for the entire rest of Fortnite, even up to date this season. I think it's a no-brainer. This is better. But after gathering the results of every single contestant, which chapter is actually the best? Let's find out. For the last 6.5 minutes of you watching this video, I've told you everything you needed to know about every chapter. Except chapter 5, because that doesn't count. But anyway, I think, undoubtedly, over a week of research, and a little bit of my own opinion, and a little bit of biased, that the winner of the title, the best Fortnite chapter, is... Pausing for dramatic effects. Chapter 2. I don't really have anything else to say, but storyline, and weapons, and cool, and mythics, and fun. Yay. And there you have it. The best Fortnite chapter is Chapter 2. Now, this is a lot on my bias. I should have talked about it more in the video, that this is a lot of my opinion. But over the past 2 weeks of research and the best video quality I've ever done, this video has been constructed. If you're here until the end, thank you. And if you're my friends, thank you. And if you're a random 40-year-old, thank you. That's kind of creepy. Much worse videos are coming soon. Hope you all enjoyed. Border out.